We're going to start by doing two actions. We're going to start with nice and easy pendulums. So the first thing I want you to do is we're going to start by shifting to the left hip, and then straightening the right leg and shifting to the right leg. So initially, the pendulum is just going to go side to side. No need to do rotations. Are you going to be okay with this for back? So we're going to go shift hip 1, hip 2. One more time. Hip 1 and hip 2. Good job. Now, when you're doing the pendulum, if you had a belt, I would want you to think about the belt not just going side to side, so it's not like we're trying to ring a bell, but instead we're trying to actually create elevation within one hip, within the body, and then the other one, there's like a little bit of a drop. Then when you switch which hip is up, you switch which hip is down. So here, when you're in this position, you really want to feel this lift here. Very good. And then same thing here. You want to feel lift here and a crunch here. And then here, you want to feel more. You can do a twist just here. And then same thing here. You've got as much as you can with your back. And here, this is very good. So allow your weight, no pain in the back. Okay? So allow yourself to go a little bit more, not even need to rotate, just shift the hip. Imagine you've got a belt and you go this way. Good job. So one hip lower, one hip higher. Now from here, let's switch to the other side and you do the same principle. So let's say we were in the left leg. When you switch, all the way, right hip is higher. So again, we go switch, left hip is higher, and feel that there's a contraction, right hip is higher, contraction. We go contraction 1, contraction 2. Now, I don't want you to do much with the shoulders, so you should not be breaking your sides. So for example, when you settle, this should not be happening. Your shoulders are pretty even. You're just thinking about one side is heavy into the floor, then the other side is heavy into the floor. You're really settling into the bones. So we go and settle, and settle, and settle. And think about the hips going one hip higher, other hip higher, one hip higher, other hip higher, and crunch, and crunch, and crunch, and crunch. Next part, I want you to do exactly the same thing, but I want your thighs to be touching throughout. So when you're moving, you don't want to have your feet apart, 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 apart. Instead, as they switch, you're always thinking about your knee moving a little bit in. So even though you've got this turnout, when you're actually switching, I want you to hear the sound of your thighs brush, 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 and then switching again here. So you go brush, across, brush, across. So if I stand here and you're in this position and you're settled into this hip, you want this thigh a little bit across, just like this is perfect, so that there's no gap basically. So if you're here, when you switch, good, bring the heels a little bit closer, touch them, good. And then as you're into this hip, settle sideways, no rotation for now, good. And bring this knee a little bit, no, just there, a little bit across even here, yes, so a little bit inward. So you always imagine like you're wearing a pencil skirt, and when you're moving, I don't want to see the space between the knees. So when you switch, and brush, no space, even here, good job. And again, brush, compress, pendulum, good, side to side, no rotation, and switch, pendulum, good, and pendulum, and brush, and brush, and brush, and brush, even tighter. Brush and bring it across, good girl, cross, and tight, so touch right in the middle, yes, brush harder, so I want to, yes, and go side, compress as much, as long as there's no pain, and show me, touch, and touch, good job, and touch, no gap, and go, boom, good job, settle, and compress, hip compress, and no gap, good job, no gap, and touch, good job, compress more, settle into it, lift the hip, 1, good, and brush, thighs brush, good job, thighs brush, very good, okay, perfect, very nice. Next part to this is let's do the same principle. So we've got the pendulum on the spot. I want you to do a little bit of timing to it. So we'll do the same thing, and we're going to go for now rumba timing. So we're going to go quick, quick, slow. So from here, let's start settling into the left foot. Same action. So thighs go slow. Then we're going to go quick, quick, slow. Quick, quick, slow. Have your arms in front of you down this time. Imagine you're holding 2 maybe glasses of water and you're trying not to shake them, not to spill them. They're going to be a little bit lower, Rosa, so maybe about waist level. Yeah. So we're going to go and quick, quick, brush the thighs. So your focus is on quick, quick, slow. Pendulum, pendulum, pendulum. Even more, Linda, I think you've got a little bit more crunch. Yes, slow. And brush the thighs. And brush the thighs. So Melinda, for you, this is good. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Just want to see specifically for you thighs, so more so than hips. So as we go one more time, slow, pendulum, 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 and pendulum, 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 good job. Okay, from here, let's do the same thing a little bit faster. You can just sit this one out if your back is off. So we're gonna go cha-cha with them. So we're gonna go, and 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna go cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha, 2, 3. Pendulum, 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 2, knees and thighs. Brush, brush, brush. Have still a turnout in the feet. So Sienna here, toes apart, heels together. Good. Brush and brush, pendulum. 1, 2, crunch and crunch and crunch and cha-cha. 1 and 2, 3. Brush, cha-cha-cha. I want to hear thighs, thighs. Brush, brush, brush. Yeah, okay, very nice, good. Yay! Okay, feet apart, same thing. So, same thing, we're gonna have our feet a little bit apart, toes turned out a little bit, heels are a little bit in. Now we're gonna start nice and easy, just pendulum side to side. So we're gonna go pendulum to the right, pendulum to the left. So we're gonna not think too much about shifting our body weight for now. We're still gonna keep mostly between the legs. We're just gonna feel that body weight a little bit goes to the right leg, body weight goes to the left. And again, you're thinking about crunch up, or more so than that, even settle. So feel that the weight goes into the foot, into the foot, into the foot, into the foot. 1. So at each point, your hip should be a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Good job. Slow. Quick, quick, slow. And quick, quick, slow. And quick, quick, slow. And hip, hip, slow. Faster. Quick, quick, slow. And quick, quick, good job. Quick, quick, slow. Hands down now. Quick, quick, slow. And quick, quick, slow. That's beautiful. Okay, next part. So far, so good. We're basically building up into a full hip action today. So we're going to start one more time from here, feet together. And I want you to do this action. So far we had this settling into the left leg and the hip goes up. This is good. So we know that right now the right hip is lowered. Now we're going to use our knees. So you're going to think about the right leg, and then what you're going to do is you're going to push the right leg straight, and as you do that, you're going to crunch the right hip up. So basically, instead of having this hip down, you're now going to use the muscle to lift this hip up. So as much as you can, you're still standing on the left leg, and you're thinking about lift the hip using the muscles, and release it down. One more time. So you go lift the right hip, and down. So again, if I see your belt, it should be right hip is higher, release. Right hip is higher, good job. Right hip is higher, release. Right hip is higher, and again, feel that settling action, down. And crunch, move, and stop, don't move. Good. So from here, I want to feel this hip should be even more, yes, all like this. So make sure the heel is up, this will fix it. So for you, yes. For you here, if you're in this position, lift off the heel here, yes. So you want to actually feel this crunching up using this muscle. So lift, imagine you're squeezing this hip down and relax it down one more time. Good, stand on this leg the whole time. And then bend this knee. Yes, that's it, that's it. And again, down, perfect. Yes, exactly, so more of this. And crunch. From here, I think you can do even higher one more time, so release. And then you're gonna think up, using the muscle as much as you can, good job. Good, that's it. Yes, and same thing here, okay, and then release down. Okay, so far so good? Yeah? Oh my God, what a superstar. I love it. Okay. Do the same thing now with a couple of caveats. So we're going to still have the same principle. I want the first thing is heels touching, toes open, and knees now I do not want to part. So it's easier to do this hip lift action with the knees parting, but we don't want to do that. We want to have the knees the same way that we had them before. As much as you can, you're going to go touching them at the very, very top, so you can't really see with my wide pants, but I'm trying to squeeze them all in toward the middle line. And then when they release, try not to release wide, you go release across again. So you go lift, touch the thighs, down. Good job, Linda, much better. Hip lifts visually and down. So thighs always crossing, Rosa, across, yes, especially when you lower. So up, good job, across, yes. 1, across, beautiful. Good job, Sienna, yes. So on the top, Sienna, try not to pop the leg out to the side. You're still gonna lift, but at this point, exactly. So let's say you do this lift crunch. Keep the thighs still squeezing toward one another while you're doing this action. Good, I know it's not easy, but just basic, good, yes, very, very nice. Okay, let's switch. So relax, we're gonna do the other side. Stand on the right foot. We're gonna do, bend the left leg, put the ball of the foot on the ground, and we're gonna think first just the crunch of the left side. So we have lift, our hip is down, then we're gonna go muscle up, come down. Muscle up, come down. Muscle up, come down, muscle up. Good job, Linda. Yes. And 1, good job. Rose, this is like Persian dancing, right? 1, yay, with the hands. 1 and 2, and hip lift, and 2. Now, keeping the same principle, thighs together, trying not to show a gap in between. So we go settle into the right, and then we go thighs pressing in, keep them together as much as possible, and down. Keep them together, thighs touching, Rosa. Yes, and down. And still touching. Yes. Or not touching, but covering. So that's correct. Again, you go touching, touching, touching. Beautiful. And down. So no parting of the thighs. Yes. Good job. Up. Very nice, Sienna. 1. Amazing. Everyone, Linda, great job. Melinda, good job. Baby, good job. Thighs touching, touching, touching. And down, and touch, and down. Okay. Okay. Next action. So we did the hip lift on the spot. Great. Now what I want you to do is to do it from different positions. So let's say we're standing with our weight on the left foot, right foot is out and down. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to feel what does the pendulum hip settling feel like in this position. So we would settle into the left leg, crunch on that side. This is nice and easy. Now what I want you to do is I want you to use the muscles of the right side and get this hip into a hip lift position and then back down. So the same action, the same thing we just learned, but now with the foot a little bit to the side. So we're going to go crunch and down, crunch and down, crunch and down, crunch and down. Hold it and down. 1 and 2 and 3. Down, 4. And when you think down, I want you to think almost about really connecting to the ground, like get really heavy. Then you go again, lift, really heavy. Lift, really heavy. Okay, switch feet, same thing. We've got weight on the right foot, and we go. Lift, very heavy. Lift, heavy. Lift, heavy. Lift, heavy. Lift, heavy. Lift, heavy. Lift, heavy. Very good.